Fox Files report. We brought you the first part tonight at 9 as we learned the St. Louis Fire Department ran out of ambulances on the 4th of July. Well, now it has discovered St. Louis firefighters are working longer than normal shifts because of an unusual staff shortage.
Nationwide firefighter shortage hitting South Carolina.
New at 10 tonight, there is a shortage of firefighters across the country, and Houston is not immune.
We're starting to do some very, very aggressive recruiting. We're going out there, talking to individuals, going to colleges, making those collaborations, those partnerships with high schools as well.
What's going on, everybody? This is the Black Fireman, and before we get rolling, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you never miss new content. And full credit goes to Straight Arrow News on YouTube for the foundation of this topic. Today, we're talking about something that has shifted dramatically in America, something that affects almost every city, town, and county across the nation. The United States needs firefighters, and we need them desperately. The shortage isn't isolated, and it isn't small. It's something every department is seeing, whether career, combination, or volunteer. Now, for those of us who grew up in or around the fire service, we remember a different era. Not too many years ago, when a department posted a job opening, it was big news. People lined up outside the testing site. Hundreds, sometimes thousands of qualified and motivated candidates competing for just a few open slots. Getting hired wasn't guaranteed. It was competitive. You had to come prepared mentally and physically. Departments had their pick from a wide, deep pool of applicants ready to dedicate themselves to the job. Fast forward to today, and things look very different. Departments across the country are having to post recruitment announcements over and over just to get enough applicants to fill an academy. Instead of candidates fighting their way into the profession, departments are now fighting to find recruits. Fire agencies, some with long and proud histories, are advertising like retail stores during holiday sales. That's how serious the staffing struggle has become. And this isn't just an issue of people not applying, it's also cultural. The new generation entering adulthood sees the world through a different lens. Many focus on flexibility, remote work, minimal stress, and personal freedom. Firefighting is the opposite. It requires structure, it demands discipline, it calls for sacrifice, late nights, hard training, dangerous situations, time away from family, and the emotional strain of experiencing trauma, loss, and suffering firsthand.
We also asked the Department of Public Safety for an explanation on the delay. We are awaiting their response, but Clark says information he's learned indicates it will be at least next year before St. Louis fills fire department vacancies.
And here's a critical fact. Roughly 65% of firefighters in the United States are volunteers. These volunteer departments form the backbone of emergency response in huge portions of the country, but they're facing serious challenges. Training takes time, certification takes commitment, volunteers still have full-time jobs, family obligations, schooling, and everyday responsibilities outside the station. And that's without the emotional fatigue that comes from constant calls, repeated tragedies, and wearing multiple hats for one department. Burnout is real, and it's pulling people out of the service faster than departments can replace them. Career departments aren't immune either. Cities that used to have applicant waiting lists now have trouble filling academy seats. Some are sending teams into high schools, job fairs, trade programs, and even military bases to recruit. So the question becomes, how do we fix this? How do we reach the next generation and show them what this work really means? The fire service needs to start telling its story again and telling it well, because firefighting is not just a paycheck. It's a purpose. It's a calling. It's rolling out of the station at 2 a.m. because somebody out there is having the worst moment of their life and they need you. It's crawling through smoke, stabilizing trauma patients, comforting terrified families, and sometimes doing what seems impossible in situations that look hopeless. And it's leaving that scene knowing without question that you made a difference.
We're at a very dangerous point in South Carolina. I call it the time of the lateral firefighter.
South Carolina is short 1,000 firefighters and is struggling to keep recruits.
So we have had some recruitment challenges over the past several years. We noticed going back about 3 years to 2022, 2021 timeframe that our recruitment numbers were dropping.
And the loss of firefighters has an impact on the current teams.
That sense of purpose, that lifelong pride still exists, but we have to present it in a way this generation can connect with. We need mentorship programs, school outreach, cadet and explorer programs, media that shows the real and meaningful side of the job, and leadership that invests in training and development. Departments must also look internally because retention is just as important as recruitment. If we bring people in only to burn them out, the cycle continues. A strong fire service is one of the most important resources any community can have. When people dial 911, they aren't calling for paperwork, meetings, or politics. They're calling for solutions. They're calling for the people who run toward the emergency, not away from it. That responsibility doesn't go away just because staffing gets thin. The fire service must remain ready, resilient, and sustainable, which means we need the next generation. We need men and women willing to serve, willing to learn, willing to sacrifice, and willing to carry the torch forward, because America still needs firefighters more now than ever. Huge shout out again to Straight Arrow News on YouTube for spotlighting this issue and giving us the chance to talk about it from the Black Fireman perspective. And before you go, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification button for more content, commentary, and conversations just like this from the Black Fireman.